Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Masterminds podcast. I'm your host tonight, Topher Sheeler. I'm joined by my co-host, the one and only Mr. Rob Adams.
What up? What up?
No,
hold on. What up? What up?
You do have to hit it right.
I did it wrong.
You did it wrong. It doesn't. Okay. It just doesn't flow.
We need to keep this intro though.
People
need to know that I'm not perfect. Sorry, everyone.
Rob, who do we got on the show today?
Today's Brandy Carrington. My Brandy Carrington. I said that totally wrong. Man, I'm striking out today. She's an inspiration for me at the gym and a good friend of mine. We've discussed everything from health to spirituality and everything in between. And I wanted to have her on the podcast because of her wisdom and the strength that the perseverance actually that she's shown in her life.
It's awesome. This is one heck of a show, guys. You know the drill. Let's grab a quick word from the sponsor and we'll jump right in.
Welcome to the American Masterminds podcast.
This episode is brought to you by AHA Realty.
If someone is thinking about buying or selling real estate, I always recommend they hire the best agent for the job.
Not all agents have the same skill, dedication, and commitment to results.
And there are a lot of moving parts in real estate, and a lot of things could go wrong.
Having the right team is critical to having a successful transaction.
My team and I provide exceptional customer service for our clients that is second to none.
We only ask that you give us the opportunity to sit down with you and ask you about your goals and interview for the job.
If you don't use me as your agent, I will never be upset. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to interview for the job.
Please reach out so we may share with you what we do to obtain excellent results for our clientele.
I met Brendy at the gym, perhaps. How long ago was that? Has it been 4 years?
I would think so. Right about that. It was before Vasa did their upgrade that they were doing. So it was I would think about a year or two before they did that. So about 4 years ago.
And as you can tell by just looking at her, she'd be terrifying to approach at the gym. And not just because she's got on her game face, but because she actually is one of the people that goes with a plan. Like she'll go from this machine to that machine to that machine. There's no wandering around, getting on the machine backwards. Like you know what you're doing. And you can see it really quickly. After you've been a gym rat for a second, you start to see people that are showing up that actually have some experience and know their way around. And I just saw her like showing up and like kicking butt every day. And I don't care how cute you are. I admire that.
Sure.
There's a couple that I just approached today and I'm like, I just got to tell you guys, like, you're amazing. I love watching you at the gym because you really can respect people who have a plan and they're executing it and they work hard every time. They're not just there like me visiting most of the time.
So he's got a very strong jaw.
From visiting. Anyway, I just remember going up to you and just being like, I think you're amazing. And I'm so grateful for your example. I think those were what I said. And you were like, that's thanks. Like you were like, I wasn't coming on or anything like that. I just was like, honestly amazed at your work ethic. And then we just kind of became quick friends from there because we're seeing each other, you know, every morning, every other morning. We're in the same space. And, you're one of the people that when I go, like if you're not there, it's just not quite the same. Like there's some people that are just such regulars. Like it's just like, you know, that's who you expect to see.
If they're missing, it's like a piece of equipment's missing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so my first question for you is, why is it that you work so hard at the gym? What's driving you like that?
Well, let me go to the very beginning. I was not always a gym rat. Wasn't there regularly, didn't grow up that way. But about 7-8 years ago, I started going. And as I progressed a little bit, I noticed that I felt better when I was there. But I didn't have a plan as I do now, like you say I do. So I went to a smaller gym that's no longer around. But in going to that smaller gym, found a personal trainer that started to give me a plan to follow. And once I got involved with a plan, it just kind of clicked that when going and having something that was set for me to do, and having it work together in a way that produced results, I became addicted. I became addicted to it. And with that, a change happened internally where it kind of flowed over into other areas of my life. I really enjoyed watching myself be able to progress because of the knowledge I'd been given by this personal trainer. And so I kind of started to go out on my own after that. And when I went out on my own, I noticed that I would compete a little bit with myself from previous times going. And that made it even more so of a need, I guess you could say, to work hard. And when I started to do that, not only did I see the results physically, but mentally, I saw those results. I became happier, more motivated, and it kind of flowed over into the mental side of it. As you know, as a gym rat, that is what really ends up becoming the addictive part, if you would, is you get in there and those endorphins or feel goods, they don't stop when you leave the gym. It's with you throughout the day. It doesn't matter if you set your schedule to begin that way, which I prefer, but if you end your day that way, it's a great stress reliever to physically exert that. It actually does the same thing for you mentally. And so that's one of the reasons why I work so hard when I get there. Not only is I'm looking for that build, if you would, mentally and emotionally and physically, but then it's broadened. Now I've got this gym family, like we like to call it, to where you're watching them do the same thing, and you're connecting at the same time with people that are like-minded and have found that that joy in the physical activity. We weren't meant to be
sitting at a computer
all day long, right? That's not what our bodies were built for. They were built to move. They were, and so it just came somewhat of a natural progression. It wasn't what I was looking for when I began, right? Like I wanted those. It's like anybody else that kind of begins that journey. They're looking for that physical change. But little did I know that years down the road, it would be not the physical that I'm looking for anymore. Even though maintenance is always a good thing, it's the emotional and mental that you get from the gym or working hard at something, and giving yourself, hey, good job. Or, I mean, you have those days just like I do where you go in and you're like, man, I just don't really feel like I've got it in me, but I was here.
Yeah.
Right. And you get in there and you don't realize that soon enough, you're actually doing and giving that effort. So that's why I work so hard while I'm there is for that mental and that emotional release, I guess you would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I think it's a tool, almost a medicine for me.
Yes.
And I treat it as such. If I don't go, I feel the effects immediately, like the day of. It's almost like I didn't take my medicine in the morning.
Yep.
I saw a statistic today that was talking about people who attend the gym in the United States, and if you go to the gym more than twice a week, there's only 2% of Americans that go more than twice a week. And twice a week, there's a huge benefit to go twice a week. But
absolutely.
If you're going more than that, you're in this kind of this 2 percentile. And I thought that's that's something to be proud of, because if you're showing up like that, and I feel the same way. Oftentimes when I'm going to the gym, it's not about the build or the losing of the weight anymore. It's about just the meditation of the exercise, the slow movement. I don't do a lot of weight like I used to do when I was a younger man. Not necessary. My joints can't do it as a senior citizen, but the movement, the flex, the extension, the idea of it is very, it's like yoga for me. And I have my music on, I get into my space and I do those movements, and there's nothing else is happening right then. It's the most present that I'm going to be all day long.
Absolutely.
As soon as I walk out of the gym, I feel fantastic. There's a moment of like, I've done it. It's a hard thing. Nothing harder can come at me today physically. But then as soon as I walk out of the gym, then the list of things that need to be done today hits me. So I'm really very clear at the gym. And then when I get home, that's when I start to load up with like the anxiety of like all the things that I get to do today.
Right.
And so,
well, it feels like a therapy for me. It's what I have coined as my therapy. For things that I'm dealing with or going through. That is one of the reasons why I started, is I needed something to calm mine, and I wasn't to the point where I felt like I could sit and talk about it with someone else. So I used it for that reason. And it still is that for me today. If I'm struggling with something, especially if it's something that's really frustrating, but I have to get that out at the gym in order for me to be like, okay, I have let it go and now I can go.
Yeah.
Right. It does that. It's that release. But
I still go on vacation.
Do you really?
Yes, I do too.
I was on vacation. We were doing a cruise, and I was with Aaron, and he's like, "You do on vacation what you do at home," and I'm like, "It's true. I like it."
Rob, you're nothing if not a creature of habit.
Oh yeah. But I just got in and I got on did a little bit of cardio, a little bit of lifting. It wasn't like I wasn't going.
What time do you go to bed on vacation?
Whenever I feel like it.
That's the best answer ever.
Yeah. When I'm tired, that's when I go to bed.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah. So it is like I am on vacation all the time, because that's what I do currently. We're just going to watch TV. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's right. I'm checking out.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I wanted to start there because this discipline that you've created in your life is it's evident, but and we've talked about how it moves into other areas of your life. Something that I admire greatly about you is you are kind of a single parent, and you have boys in your house and one daughter, right? Two daughters. And you have one son who's 15, so he's in a very this is a critical space as a parent. And the reason that I wanted to bring that up is because one of the things I admire about you is your ability to step into your masculine energy and then also step into your feminine energy. You're very good at being able to do both and being conscious of that. Can you tell me, how is it that you are able to make that shift?
I honestly don't feel like I have a choice. I have to, right? Like you as a parent, there's anything else kind of disappears when it comes to your children. And you make those sacrifices, you do what you've got to do, and that's one of them. As a single parent, at this point, and pretty much since that day of single parenting started, all my kids, I've been the parent. And so even though I don't like the masculine, and I'll put it out there, I don't like to have that masculine energy for myself. It doesn't come naturally as the parent. I don't want to do that. But if there's something that needs to happen within their world that makes me step into that role as the other parent, if you would, you just do it. You don't hesitate. And since I've had to do that shift for so long, it just happens now without even a thought. I don't have to think about how am I going to do this, other than to me, it's more of a strategic. Okay, how am I going to approach this? Using this area of space for me as the parent, but how do they receive it? and
well, you do it also in your business life. Like it's not just as a parent, you are a successful business person and you've built your knowledge of the business to a point where you're traveling and training and doing that throughout the country. And so that is outside. And I don't say that's outside the feminine space. I should change that, but it's you're assuming you're stepping into a masculine world, which is, when you're talking about development and, what am I thinking of? In your business, you talk about right of way, and you are assuming like there's roads that are buying up properties. What is that called?
Eminent domain.
Eminent domain.
Yeah.
It's a tricky thing. Eminent domain. So the way eminent domain works is if you're living on a road and they decide to widen the road, then they get to come in and they'll say, okay, well, we're going to offer you this much for that much of your yard, and then this is what we're going to do to make you whole. And it's a tricky thing because most people are like, you're going to do what with my yard? You're doing now, how's this going to go? And so you spend a lot of time in that space. And so that takes a lot of hard conversations. You have to
absolutely. Well, you know why? Just sitting here kind of listening to you, Rob. And one of the things that I really enjoy when we are at the gym and, we're fist bumping and we're just rocking the energy in the gym that morning is I feel like there's a passion. And that's where, when I have to jump into that role, that's where it comes from, is passion for whatever it is I'm dealing with at that moment. I don't mind taking the reins, if you would, for it, if I have passion for it, because and my passion is led by helping, by whoever I'm speaking to or with. It's led by that. So my passion for helping others and helping whatever it is that situation is, whether it's improving them, whether it's improving their situation, whether it's improving their knowledge, which I have a huge passion for education and being able to learn. I mean, that's one of our greatest abilities that I think we take for granted, is our ability to learn. And so because I have such a passion for these things, I don't mind getting up, and because I don't see it as me taking the reins. I see it as me sharing with you what I have to give. And so that's kind of the same thing that I do with my now 15-year-old. It's just that I have a passion for him, love him, right? So I want to make sure that he is receiving what I feel like I have to give at that moment. And if it has to be with the lead, then that's what it is, right? But it's because of that. I think that's why it's okay. That's how I do it, is with that passion. And
it's evident. It's evident. So keep at that. That's a good way to live your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was asked this morning. I had that gentleman with me that was that was training. I've been friends with him for a long time, and he asked me like, "Why are you doing that, or why this and that?" And I just I don't feel like on my schedule. When I look at my schedule, I've been really very good at saying no, and so my schedule isn't the have tos anymore; it's the get tos, and it's no longer work when you look at it that way. Like,
yes.
There's whole days where I look at my calendar and I'm like, oh man, today's going to be awesome. I've got so many cool things going, and it's one thing after another. It's, from 8 to 8, it's nonstop. And I am so lucky that I get to live that life. And
Absolutely.
So what you're saying is really resonating with me, because I don't feel as though, I am working. I work very hard, but I'm doing a lot of things that I absolutely love.
Well, and it's not a hardship.
Yeah.
Right. People look at their job sometime or what they have to do as a hardship, but it's not that way. If you change your perspective and look at it as, I get to do this.
Yeah.
I have that ability. Right. And I'm grateful for that. So if you change your perspective and look at it differently, I get to parent my kid.
Yeah. How lucky are you?
I am very lucky, even though there's days I'm like, oh, I got to pull my hair out. I got to go
punches for everyone.
That's right. I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, I'll be back in a minute.
I will be back. But I get to do this, and I'm grateful that I get to be a parent, right? It's what I asked for.
Right.
So
I love that. Often at the gym, my favorite question to ask Brendy is, tell me something good. Tell me something good. And there's something I really appreciate about you is she'll do this with her head. She'll tilt it and be like, because she's giving me the layup answers, like, life is good. I'm awake. I get to be, and I'll say, no, tell me something good. And I love how you, when we have conversations, you really go deep. You really are just like, okay, well, let me tell you something. Or you'll be like, actually, I'm struggling right now, and this is what's going on.
This is what it is. Yep.
And I love that you are as authentic and vulnerable in our friendship in that space. The reason that I bring that up is because as we step into today's world, to be authentic and vulnerable it takes courage.
Yes, it does.
And so how do you find the strength to do those things? Because I see you talking to a lot of people at the gym, and I don't eavesdrop, but I assume that you're that way with everyone.
Oh, absolutely. Well, if you would have met me 10 years ago, you wouldn't have seen that. You would not have seen that.
Guarded?
Very guarded. Very introverted.
Really?
Very. Yeah. Take that. Bam.
Wow.
What? No, you're lying. No, seriously.
That's hard to believe.
It is, right? But I was also in a situation, like I think sometimes we are a product of our environment, right? I was in a very unhealthy environment at that point in my life. And when I found that release at the gym, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a solve all, but man, it was in a lot of cases for me. Light bulbs started to turn on, which made me want to do things differently or release those things that are inside of me, right? That I hid. I would hide those things. I didn't. So now I just feel like that's the only way I can be is who I am. Right. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm proud of the things I've had to overcome to actually be that authentic person and lead with my heart. That's just where it is. There's a connection I think that you need to be aware of being wise. I mean, everybody says you're wise as you get older, right? And I like to say I'm not a year older, I'm a year wiser, right? Because you've learned through that last year. And so as I become that wiser person, it's a connection that happens, I think, through your heart and your logic. The meeting of the two, I think, creates that authentic person. You're not really leading one with the other, but with the combination. So that's just kind of how I've evolved, I guess you could say, was into that authentic person. And I appreciate that as I've watched you do the same, right? Like, I don't think that there's any other version of Rob besides the one that you see or that I see in the morning. It's the same one that's in the afternoon, same one that's in the evening.
You haven't met Turkey Rob yet?
No.
Okay.
Well, I have Thanksgiving Heroes, Turkey Rob.
That's a different character.
That's a different character. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe
there's one.
Well,
there's one. There is all the time authentic, but Turkey Rob, when he's out and about, man, look out. That guy. Whew.
Yeah, he's going to hug somebody. The guy's a hugger. Get out of your car. I'm going to give you a hug.
That's awesome.
I made you do that, remember?
Yes, you
for
did.
Spring Giving. We just fed 300 families together.
That was awesome. That was amazing.
And you came through that.
I came through that. Yep.
Did you have any good experiences delivering?
All of my houses were within one house of each other.
Oh, man.
And the reaction was the same. Just like, yep, and thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's great. And then you told me you had a good experience.
So I had brought my 2 kids with me, the 2 that are still in the home. And we each took a home and delivered. And I was the first one because it had stairs. They were in an apartment complex all the way at the top. And they're like, Mom, you get to take this one. So anyways, I grabbed my box and I get heading up the stairs and knock on the door. And about a 10-year-old answers the door. And I said, I have I have a box of food here for you. You know, you've been nominated and I have this for you. And he just was like, no, very guarded at the door. And I said, well, I can leave it right here if that makes you feel more comfortable. I'll just put it right down here on the floor. And he nodded, and he could speak English, but there was another child that came up that could not. So he translated to the other child for what I was saying and what the conversation was. But as I went to set the food down on the floor, I was able to glance around a little bit to see if there was an adult there that maybe I could talk to instead, and notice that there was not a stitch of furniture in the place. There wasn't a couch. There wasn't a TV. There was not chairs. There was not a table for this family. So, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I enjoy and am grateful for Rob and what he's done, and for the massive team that he's put together for it, is because, just like I said a little bit earlier, I think we take for granted our abilities, right? And what we have, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, outward, where we're living even. I think sometimes we take things for granted. And when you have a moment like that, it puts it in perspective for you.
In a quick hurry, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Of what's important.
Yeah.
It really is. Last year there was a Thanksgiving, and I had one of those. Like, you walk in and you're like, oh, you can't, like, your heart breaks.
Yep.
And there was a little kid, and he didn't know any better. You know, he's over there playing in the corner of a place that I would never let my daughter into.
Yeah.
You know, and not a stitch of furniture in there. And the tears come in different levels.
Oh.
And the borderline breakdown tears, where this mom was holding it together for nothing. Like, I don't know that that one particular one was, whew.
Yeah, it's burned, right?
Yeah.
Into the heart.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
It's that one delivery that always makes all the other ones where they don't know how to receive, because receiving, I've learned, is a skill.
It is.
Not all of us receive a compliment or a gift very well at all. In fact, I'm learning to receive better. When someone says, oh, you've lost a lot of weight, you're really looking great. And rather than be like, oh, shut up. I'm just always, I know I need to, thanks. I have been working hard. Like, it's hard to receive. And I think that this really is one of my big lessons in Thanksgiving's Heroes, is this part of it. Because it's easy for me to give. It's easy. We can all give, but how often is it hard for us
very hard
to receive love or kindness from somebody else? And so
when you're doing something like, most of us take for granted food.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Basic needs. And when it hits on that kind of level, it's different.
Yeah.
And it only, to your point, like, no, some of them, like this last round, it was just thank you and off they go. But that one time, I'll do this forever.
Yeah.
You know,
makes it worth it. It's so good.
Absolutely.
It's like hitting that one good ball in golf or something. Like, it's man, I'm going to come back and do this.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love hearing the stories. The other morning, Brendy was talking to Tim Watts. He was on recently, and he came and delivered, and they were sharing each other's stories. And I just kind of stepped back, and I could feel like this excitement of like, let me tell you what, when I went, and I was just like, this is why, because your kids, you have an experience that can't be, there's no other way to find that but without serving another person, without loving on another person and providing that. And I've realized that my job isn't to feed families. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to facilitate families feeding families. That's my job, is to create that opportunity for your family to see how it goes. And I often say, when people are like, how you doing, Rob? I'll say, it's good to be Rob. And that comes from this knowing that my life is so, so, so good. I have furniture in my house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I took a shower today in hot water.
Wow.
It was wonderful. And not everybody gets that. In fact, we're very lucky to get those things. And I forget all the time how good it is to be Rob. And so now I say it even on shitty days. I'll say that, because even on a shitty day, it's still pretty good to be Rob.
Still pretty good.
Still pretty good. And I need to remember that. And so I've had people be like, I'm going to start saying that. I used to say, when people would ask me, how you doing? I would say unbelievable, because I could go either way, you know?
Right.
Could be good, could be bad. But it's good to be Rob is my reminder that it is really, I'm really very blessed.
Right. Well, and that's the same thing. I feel like if you're realizing of your blessings, if you can internalize that and notice those things, I think it's much easier to just give, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I was thinking here while you were speaking, Rob, is you give to have others feed others, right?
Right.
Families. But have you ever really thought about what it is that you do to feed others besides with food?
Tell me more.
So one thing that I really love about you is that you are very good at feeding other people's souls without even meaning to. You're always soul searching, I would say, to where you are giving others a piece of you without even really knowing that feeds them internally.
What a wonderful compliment.
So there you go.
Yeah, I love you. That was wonderful.
Well, I love you.
I'll second that sentiment.
Right?
Yes, I will. I love you, big guy.
And without even knowing that you are feeding someone, you are. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I needed to hear that today. That's a wonderful compliment. See, I knew I'd need these Kleenexes over here. I knew it.
Thanksgiving Heroes really is kind of cool though, because that is kind of a big, miss on it. Most people, we're feeding the families, and that's what they think it is. It has nothing to do with that. No. It's the line of people waiting to give the food.
Yeah. Right.
That really is. And I think you told that story. It took you a couple of years to figure that out, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I've been doing it 12 years, and I just realized this last year. So I'm a slow learner. But when I realized that, and I realized what I was made for in that space, then all of a sudden it became easy. You know what I mean? Where worrying about the experience of the people receiving the food, it's kind of none of my business. That's between you and them.
Well, how would you know who's going to receive it well and who's not going to receive it well? Like
who's going to have a good experience as a deliverer?
Right.
There's no way of knowing that.
Right.
And so, but when you come through the line, I can pour into you, and I want you to leave the line feeling like your frequency has been raised. And in so doing, you're taking that higher frequency out into the world. And that's what it's about.
Well, and I think when you're giving, we've all heard this, but it's so true. When you're giving, you are the one that's receiving more in my view anyways.
Oh, yeah.
You receive so much more, I think, than what you feel like you give.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. Don't tell anybody I said this.
Yeah.
Shh. The secret is that on the big day, I'm the most blessed of everyone that comes to the line, of everyone who receives the food. I'm doing it for a completely selfish reason. It feels so, so good. And I feel like I'm completely recharged, and all of the work and all of the asks and all of the things, it all is worth it. And so on a selfish level, I do it because I know that I'm the most healed, the most blessed, the most served, the most loved out of all the people that show up. I just feel that way. And because of that, I'll do this for the rest of my life, because I honestly believe that the greatest gift of all of my work and all of my doing is returning. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
People are excited to see me. There's people I don't see any other time of the year. And they've come through Thanksgiving's Heroes for 12 years in a row. They're only friends on one day. And they get out of the car. Their whole family gets out of the car. Their kids are hugging me. Their mom. It's just like this crazy, wonderful energy. It's so good. And I love it. And I hate it. It's so much work.
It's a ton of work. But it's the same thing as parenting, right? Like, it's so much work, but man, it brings blessings that you couldn't have or joy, or, just a feeling of fulfillment.
Yeah.
That can't be replaced.
So good. I'm glad you came to that. It's I've often told people, you don't really know who I am until you've come through the line.
Yeah.
Because it's who I am. It's like really my character showing. And I love that. So thank you for being a part of that. To shift gears a little bit, you have been a single mom, paying the bills, showing up, doing the work, going to the gym, reading the books, all the stuff for a minute.
Yeah.
If you could just take a moment and think of these moms that are now stepping into that space. There's a lot of this happening in the world right now, where these moms are finding themselves in a similar situation, not like yours. Of course, everyone's different, but the responsibilities, the world is the same. What advice would you give to that mom?
Take it a day at a time. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're not going to be able to carry it all. You know, I mean, as a single mom, without that other parent, like my situation is a little bit different. When we talk about me being a single mom, I am a single parent. You know, the other parent is not involved at all. And with at least 3 of my children. But I put a lot of responsibility on my back for that. And I think I'm pretty hard on myself when there's things that don't go quite, you know, and I don't have all the answers. It doesn't go quite right. Or what I thought would be the solve all or the solution isn't quite it. But I have to go back, and I have to go back to the drawing board and realize, I mean, that's one of the biggest things is there's no quitting. There's nobody else, right? All those kids are dependent on me, not just for their monetary, but for the example of, you know, we don't give up. We don't throw in the towel.
Work ethic,
work
everything,
ethic,
all
everything,
the things. Yeah.
All of it, you know? And so, any mom that's kind of starting that journey, they're probably, you know, I was scared. I had no clue how I was going to do it and make it work. But don't get in the weeds.
Yeah.
Don't get lost in the weeds.
I think that goes for both a mom and a dad who's single parenting. I know dads that are good dads, you know,
lucky.
And and divorce happens, separation happens, and they're great fathers still. They might not be great mates, but they're good fathers. And so I think that's good advice. One day at a time. One day at a time. And it's okay to be scared.
It's okay.
I think about my journey through divorce 1, 2, and no, that's it so far.
The jury's still out there.
Yeah. What is today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
We're and that is what's the next best thing I can do? That's about all you can do sometimes.
That's it.
What's the one next best thing that I can do right now for me, for my happiness, that will benefit my children, for their happiness, and just go and put your head down and work. I think that would be my advice too.
Yep. That's about all you can do is just show up. You know, I mean, if you don't have the right whatever, or you don't have the best whatever, it doesn't matter. What that child is going to remember is that you were there.
Yeah.
So don't worry if you don't have the answer right then. And it's okay to let your children know, hey, I don't have the answer right now.
I think there's 2 or 3 things that our kids will remember along the way, in my opinion. And number 1 is how they felt when they were with you.
Yeah.
Number 2 is how you looked at them when you first see them. Are you excited to see them? Do they feel that excitement? And number 3 is when you were acting, when you were struggling, all the things that you do, they know how they felt witnessing it. It's the witnessing of watching Dad build Thanksgiving's Heroes. It's the witnessing of them seeing me build a company, and all the things that it's never anything that I said ever.
No.
Thank God.
Yeah. Some nonsense rolling off of this.
That could go bad.
Yeah. And so I think about that. And those are the things that I focus on, is like when I see my girls, I want them to see how excited I am to see them. Like I want them to know what it feels like just to be like, oh my God, you're the most precious thing ever right now. Come here, and that's a big deal. That they learn a lot from that. And I think my girls remember those things.
Oh, so, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you think back to your childhood, right? And what really impacts you, you don't realize it until you're older.
Yeah.
But the things that you remember are the good moments that you had as a family or with your parents.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that you really hold on to. So, I mean, we all go through junk in a relationship. I don't care what kind of relationship it is.
They're hard.
They are hard.
Yeah.
They can be really hard, but it's okay. How do we recover? What are we going to do to recover from this? And how are we going to straighten it back out? Or I'm not your we might be at odds in what we think needs to happen or our opinion, but I'm not your enemy, right? Like it's us against this issue or whatever it is. So if we can't figure it out right now, we'll put a pin in it, come back to it later. But it's all about and how you recover with that child or that person, that other person in the relationship, right? But as a child, you don't realize what you have or what those things that are going to sit with you through the rest of your life. So I think that's the big thing.
That is the big thing. That is good stuff. I love that advice that for the single moms out there that are just kind of starting on their journey. I think that the wisdom is grace with yourself. And so
we've done 81 of these at this point. Still got the phones going off.
Did you forget to silence that or shut it off? You're so funny.
I'm new here. Oh my gosh. Well,
make me laugh.
And the final notes, and we've had a really great conversation, but as we've talked about all these things about your journey and about your struggles, how you're finding solace and strength, your discipline, the thing that I would like to end on, the note I'd like to end on is not the single mom note or the entrepreneurial person note, but you are typically an optimistic, positive person. For the most part, you have your days, as we all do, but how is it that you maintain that high frequency in your life?
There was a point in my life when each day I woke up afraid. And I had no idea how that day was going to go. And so I lived in fear for quite a few years. And there wasn't any positive. I was lost. I was really lost and not sure how to make the happiness happen for my kids and for myself. But once I was able to overcome that portion of my life, I realized that I don't have control over the things around me, my environment, so much as I do of myself. And I'm not going to allow what's going on around me to change my outlook on life because it's a gift. We only have one, right? It doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean it's great. It doesn't mean we click off our to-do list or our bucket list all the time. But each day we get to wake up is a good day. Each day that we get to give to someone else is a good day. And if I can't have happiness within myself, how am I going to help the world or serve my purpose within it? You know, I mean, you really only have one choice, and that's what you do with you. You don't get to choose anything else outside of that, but you have to start within first.
That's very stoic. The Stoics believe that I don't have a choice for what happens to me. My only choice is how I react to what happens to me.
Or if you're going to react.
Or yeah, that's also a choice, right? And like things happen, bad things happen all the time. And now it's up to me to choose my reaction. And sometimes I react poorly.
Oh, man, there's times that I'm like, okay, I just have to walk away for a minute, right? And get it right within me first.
Oh, I throw temper tantrums. I'm a solid 7-year-old being like, no! Kicking and screaming on the not fairness of it all. And it's embarrassing, but here we go. And that's part of my experience until I can. And the thing is it happens again and again until I get better at reacting to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh man, this adventure.
It's so fun.
It's wonderful.
But that's it. I mean, why are you positive? Like, why do you choose that?
Well, thank you for asking that question. I have struggled with depression my whole life. I've been on medicine for it. I've been to so many therapists. It's embarrassing to admit. And it came down to a point where I was, when you're taking medicine, you have a tendency to think, I'm still unhappy. The medicine must not be working. And so you go back to the doctor and you're like, we need more or something different. And he's like, okay, well, here we go. Let's try this one out. And away you go. And they usually don't take effect for 30 days. And so you have 30 days of feeling like shit to realize you're still unhappy. And so I did this for a long time. And the thing about the medicines is you put on weight. I put on 125 pounds more than I weigh right now because of the side effects from this medicine and my dietary choices and lack of exercise. And I was miserable. And there just was a time where I just, it occurred to me, no one's coming to save me.
Nope.
My wife can't help me. My friends can't help me. The only person that can do anything about this right now is me. And I went for a walk. I went for a walk around the block. And then I started to realize that not just in my physicality, but in my spirituality and also in my emotions. Building muscle is an emotional exercise. Yeah. And one of my emotions that I want to build to strengthen is gratitude. And so I write in here, here's April 8th. I am thankful for, I am thankful for, I am thankful for. And this is my list of things. And I write, I am thankful for every morning until I start feeling thankful. Just like going to the gym.
Yep.
And if I do that, then it activates in my brain and I'm in a place of gratitude all day. And sometimes it takes 3 or 4 pages of I am thankful for before I actually start feeling thankful. And so it's just little hacks like that, but it's just a choice or a muscle that you have to strengthen every day. Otherwise, I think I'm predisposed to be pessimistic and negative. Yeah. And I say that, and a lot of people are like, wow, you're like one of the most positive people I've ever met. This has been really very hard for me. It's been a long, long journey. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And so making the choice every day and then being intentional about it.
Yeah. If I could be so bold, as in the baseball world, I'm going to use a baseball reference here. There's talent guys and then there's manufactured guys. The way that you approach it, you are 100% a manufactured. Yeah. It is a process. It is something that is worked on every single day. Here's the tool for this one, the tool for this one, the tool for this one. Yeah. It's not actually a natural state for you.
Yeah.
And it manufactured, meaning the guys that had to actually work and build the skill instead of just waking up and having it.
Yeah.
And for the record, that's the foundation of why we have this wonderful podcast. I mean, you going through that and everything is how these conversations happen.
Well, thank you. I think me going through that too has created my wonderful life. I'm no longer, and you kind of led to this earlier, Brendy, but I'm no longer just a victim of things happening to me.
Right.
Things are happening for me. And because of that, I've been able to create or write my own story. I'm the star in my movie. And I know that sounds very, I don't care how it sounds. I'm the star in my movie and I want my movie to be awesome. I want it to be inspiring. I want it to be an action adventure where I do all of my own stunts. I want it to be great. And it won't happen unless I take that pen and get to work.
Well, I mean, we all are victims of some sort in something or another, but it's what we decide to do or we're going to have that victim mentality. Or is it something that we're going to say, okay, this happened. What can I learn from it? What can I do with this?
Yeah.
That's not going to leave me stuck and feeling horrible, to where it's spread between all the other people I come in contact with. So I just think that dealing with positivity and being grateful, they, as we all know, go hand in hand.
Yeah. Now, do you know that you see me reading in the morning? Have you ever seen me? Yeah. I read on the when I'm doing my elliptical or I'm on the bike.
Of course you do.
That's true.
And the book I'm reading right now is called Good Thoughts. I look for books and each chapter is just long enough for me to get my target cardio heart rate and then get off. And it's just a little thought. And every day, like this one's very faith oriented. And it's been really good for me, but I read that every day because I have to like prime the pump.
Yeah.
And so I read on when I'm doing cardio. I'm that guy.
I don't know why that's so funny. It is though.
It matches him though when he's sitting on the, on the bike and it's just, you're like, yep, that's totally it. Right.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, Brendy, and sharing your perspective on things. I knew that we'd have a great talk. And I knew that this would be a good podcast. And if you've enjoyed what you've heard, please subscribe and share this because the wisdom that my friend Brendy dropped today is wisdom worth sharing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate being here and appreciate all that you do.
Thank you.
We'll catch you on the next one.